Hello and welcome to FPL, mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2020-21 season. My name is Dan and welcome to the Game Week 22 deadline stream. Sorry guys, I'm a few minutes late, as you guys will some of you will know. When we have these early deadlines in the day during the week, it is during my working day, so I have to take a weird lunch break. My lunch break started at 3:30 GMT today, so only 5 minutes ago. So I had to spend a couple of minutes just setting up the stream, closing up the work that I was doing, making sure all my emails are up to date and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm here now. Hopefully we can still have a pretty decent stream, even though I've been pretty disorganised today. But, you know, fingers crossed, all is going to be good in the hood, so to speak. But yeah, Game Week 22, I've not made my transfer yet, so that still needs to be done. We can do that today. Those of you who watch my team selection video will know that my plan is to go Rafinha to Wilf Zaha, the neck tattooed legend himself. He's going to kill some points for the next 7 game weeks. Cannot wait for that. Let's see who's in the chat. Let's say some hellos. Who we got in today? We got any members? We've got Moldy in today. Thank you for modding as always. Got Stammen, got the throwing out your Ferguson emojis, love it. Jonathan Cruz, hello mate. Adam Pearce, how you doing? And we've got loads of other people, loads of other non-members as well. Logan Madden's here. Akshaf, hello mate, how you doing? Shiraz, what's up? And yeah, just loads of people. Jack Lad's here. So yes, welcome guys. Hopefully we can make my transfer, we can answer some questions, we can talk about various topics that need to be talked about, any concerns that you have in your own fantasy teams. Hopefully I can help make you feel a little bit better, maybe help you find some solutions that perhaps you haven't thought of yet. So yeah, let's just go for it today and yeah, see what we've got. So yes, as always the chat is a little bit laggy for me, but that's no problem. Hamada Galal, hello Dan, hello mate. Ethan Fernandez is here as well. We've got loads of people. 89 Tech. I love, you know what, I do love it when the regulars are in here. It's nice to see the same faces regularly joining in. The usual suspects indeed. Badgery's here, Sahil's here. It's all good. Yeah, guys, if you do want to join as a member of the channel, I need to tweet about this and post about this properly, but I have officially cancelled my Patreon now. So if anyone is in here who does support me on Patreon, thank you so much for your support over the last 4 months, 5 months. I have decided to close it down. I just don't think it's the right move for the channel. So all support for this channel is going to come through YouTube joining buttons now, / super chats, that kind of stuff. So if you want to help support the channel financially, obviously no pressure to ever do that, but if you want to do support the channel, click the join button. It's in the top of the description, the link to do that, and you get access to emojis, you get a badge next to your name. I can see you in the chat a little bit easier as well, help you answer your questions, and because obviously there's sometimes so many people in the chat, it's hard to see the questions. It's a little bit easier when your name is highlighted in green and you've got that badge next to you. And if you're a member for more than 1 month, you get the golden FPL mate badge. A few of you guys I can see have already unlocked the golden FPL mate badge, which is awesome. Gaming now. Am I considered a regular? Yeah, I think you are. Jack Les says, Dan, I didn't bring Zaha in this week because I'm scared he'll get injured. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, right, you guys will know that when I transfer in a player, obviously sometimes they get injured. I think DCL last week maybe broke the curse a little bit there, maybe. Lucy Till says, loved your tweets last night, Dan, absolutely hilarious. Yeah, throwed out a couple of jokes on Twitter last night, guys. And again, if you fancy following me on Twitter, as always, I do recommend it, because that's probably where I'm most active. When I'm not making videos, I'm on Twitter, chatting to you guys, making jokes, having fun with it, particularly during the games. It's all good fun. It's all good fun. Robbie Glynn here says, hey Dad, is playing Kane this week too risky, or does he have to go? Yeah, I thought there'd be a few people asking about Kane today, so I think that's probably a good place to start. So let's chat about Kane. Theo Thomas says, I've never missed an FPL mate stream. Good lad, love it guys, love it. So yeah, Harry Kane, is he going to be playing this game week? No, he's not. Unfortunately not. No, his injury, it's more positive than perhaps we initially thought, but he is not going to be playing until sort of Man City in game week 24 at the minimum. So that's the best case scenario. He plays in game week 24. So game week 22, this game week, and game week 23, you're not going to be seeing any Harry Kane. The bad news is the big fixture that we want to be targeting really with Spurs attackers is that game week 23 fixtures against West Brom. That's the big one really, isn't it? So when you consider, okay, he's out for game week 22 against Chelsea, he's out against West Brom in game week 23, and then game week 24 is against Man City anyway. Would we want Harry Kane against Man City, the best defence in the league? I don't know that we would, if I'm honest. I don't know if we'd want him then anyway. So really, you perhaps wouldn't want Harry Kane back till game week 25 anyway, which means if you do still have Kane in your team, it might actually be worth getting rid of him now. Genuinely, it really might be worth, you know, sticking him on the chopping block now and seeing who else you can get in. And there are a few options. We can run through them as well. A few new members, so thank you so much for the new members. Timothy, thank you for joining me as a member. We've got Luke V here as well. Awesome stuff. Axels, I'm guessing that's how you say that name. That's pretty cool. Thank you for the super chat. He says, wait, instead of Zaha in, wouldn't it be safer / better to go for Ferguson to hold him in case Chilwell and Stones get benched? Rafinha can be benched until next game week. Well, you make a good point. Liam Healy, thank you for joining me as a member as well. Axels, you make a really good point, and I did discuss this in my team selection video. Maybe the best scenario would actually be to swap Ferguson out to a slightly better defender, just so I have that defensive cover in the case that you got, you know, Chilwell. I'm really doubting whether Chilwell is going to be starting. I'm really doubting that. Stones, I'm a little bit more confident in, but I do have Sofal on the bench to cover if one of those three defenders misses out. So what I'd be doing is betting on one of those defenders not missing out. Now, the concern really is Rafinha. If he was fit, I would probably be playing him. So you're totally correct in the sense that Ferguson to hold in would be probably my safest move I could possibly make. Newcastle, do I feel that last game week was a rare good result, or do I think Newcastle are back in their good defensive capabilities and maybe I just save the Zaha transfer for another game week? That's a possibility as well. So you are right. It probably would be the most sensible decision to go Ferguson to hold him. But, you know, what's the point in being sensible when we can have a little bit of fun, you know? No, I don't necessarily feel that way. But, yeah, there is definitely that thought process going on in my mind that maybe that would be the move. I'll think about it. We can chat about it over the course of this video, this stream. Maybe I will end up keeping Rafinha in. If he is fit, and there is a chance that he is fit, then actually maybe I actually would prefer him to Zaha anyway. He has been in good form, you know. I don't know. It depends. Yeah, you're probably right. It's probably the safe move, but I feel like the safe moves are not really what I should be doing right now. I should be taking a few risks and chasing some high points totals, but yeah, maybe Holding is the man. I do want him in my team eventually, particularly for this bench boost. So yeah, could be the way. Anyway, we have had another super chat as well, so let me just find that real quick. If this will allow me. Here we go. So Siddharth Patil says, love the graphic you made for blank game week 18 and double game week 19. Would be great if we could do something similar for the upcoming blank game week and double game week. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think that's a really good idea. So yeah, we will do that. We will do that at some point. It's just a case of when do I do it? Do I wait until more fixtures are confirmed? Do I wait for the next round of FA Cup fixtures to be played? I think that's probably the play, to wait until, you know, we've got some confirmation on, a little bit more confirmation on some double game weeks. That would be the most useful thing to do, I think. But it depends on timings. I do want to give you guys plenty of time to plan as well and try and help you nice and early. What I will say is, if you are building towards a bench boost in game week 26, and if you have your bench boost still, I would recommend that you do build towards a bench boost in game week 26. I really would recommend that. Start thinking about how you're going to structure your team now, how you're going to upgrade your, you know, your cheaper options on the bench, how you're going to upgrade them, kind of thing. But yeah, we'll talk about my strategy and what other potential strategies you can use. We'll use some nice graphics and stuff, as we like to do. We'll do that. We'll definitely do that at one point. So thank you, Siddharth, for the super chat. Thank you for the suggestion. Trust me, we got you covered, man. We got you covered. Michael Zoo says, Bamford or Fernandes captain. I would definitely say that the safe captain here is Fernandes. You know, you if you really fancy going for Bamford, understand that you're taking a big risk. I do think Fernandes is a good captain. Southampton are conceding a lot more goals recently than usual. You know, right at the start of the season, okay, maybe they had a few blips, but sort of the mid part of the season so far, they actually were really nice defensively. But more recently, they've been letting it slip a little bit. So, all in all, it kind of looks like they actually could be one of those teams you could be targeting a little bit with your captaincy choices, particularly if you've got a premium playing against Southampton. And with Bruno Fernandes, we do have that. My only concern with Bruno Fernandes is that he's playing a little bit deeper. When Pogba's on the pitch alongside him, he is sharing creative responsibilities a little bit. So he's not guaranteed massive point scores like he was slightly earlier in the season. That's the only consideration. But I still prefer him to Bamford as a less risky option. You know, I think that's probably the direction I'd be heading in if I was in your position, Michael. Anyway, there are more chats in the chatter box. So 89 texted, I have Creswell, Sofal, Fergie, Stones, and Cancelo, but I also have Grealish and Watkins. Should I ship out Creswell for Maguire to target WH West Ham? Is that what WH mean West Ham in this context? Not sure. Well, I mean, they are a team worth targeting defensively, perhaps. That could be said. But West Ham have been in okay form. I don't know if they're a team you should be targeting. But, that said, I look at that and I think, yeah, Creswell is the guy to downgrade. But I'd just downgrade to another Chelsea defender. I'd go for Rudiger, 4.5 million. I don't know if he's raised to 4.6 million yet. He was certainly 4.5 last time I checked. He looks really good. So, if you want to ship out Creswell, then, you know, maybe we could go for a Chelsea defender instead, which I think looks pretty good. But Creswell in general, I think you're fine to just keep him. I don't think there's a panic stations that needs to be done there. You could keep. I know you've got double West Ham defence there, but Creswell's been doing well. He really has. We've got more super chats, but I'm lagging a little bit, so I'm going to try and get this up on my phone again, as I do when things start to lag. Oh, guys, I can't wait to get a better setup. I really can't. Trust me, we're going to make this the best we possibly can. We've got a new member, Tej Parker. Thank you very much for joining the channel. Really, really helpful. And we've got, we've got a few here, haven't we? Let me scroll up. Hopefully I haven't missed any. But someone can let me know if I have missed one. But we've got Daniel Sheeran says, Zaha for Son or Rashford. Any ideas for bench players? I would keep Son in because I want him for the West Brom game next game week. Rashford, I would be more inclined to sell just because Rashford, he's kind of been really off form recently. He's not been looking too good, to be honest, has he? So I'd be more inclined to sell him. Ian Price says, bench one of DCL, Watkins, Antonio, and Gundogan or Son. Maybe, you know what? Controversial, but maybe Son is actually the one to bench there. It's really tough though because Son is a premium player, but out of those players, who do I think is going to score the most points? I think DCL's got points in him. I think Watkins has got points in him. I think Antonio has. I think Gundogan has. Son seems the one to bench, which is really tricky. And I know as a Spurs fan, you probably don't want to do that. So maybe you go for Gundogan instead. But if I'm honest, maybe that's a really tough decision. But maybe Son actually scores the least points out of those players. Genuinely. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I'm guessing you're coming off a bench boost to have all those premium players still in your team. You know, that strong bench that you've got going on. But you know what? There's been so much rotations and stuff. There's a very good chance that you'll have one of those players come off the bench and play anyway. As is often the situation these days. Are we lagging? I think we're lagging a little bit. Thanks, mate. No problem. Ethan says, should I captain Salah and bench Son? Yeah, like I said, it depends on the structure of your team. If, you know, you've got some cheap options, like say you've got Rafinha or Soucek, you probably bench them in favour and put Son on the pitch. But if you've got like 5 premium midfielders, well not premium, but 5 mid-range / premium midfielders, and then 3 mid-range / premium attackers, you're all in on attack, and Son is one of your attackers, then maybe you actually bench him on this occasion. But I think in most scenarios, you want to play Son, really. If you have a player like that, you have that much money tied up in a player, it's for a reason. It's because they're really good players. So I would recommend playing him if you can. So yes. What else is coming in on the chat? Grealish captain option? Maybe. I'm not fully convinced. West Ham are kind of a good defence, you know. They have been keeping a lot of clean sheets recently. So for an attacking player, I don't think West Ham, even at home, is necessarily a really good fixture to be targeting. Particularly as Grealish isn't premium, per se. Timothy says, Mane out for Grealish and Zaha -4. No, I don't think so. I think I'd keep Mane in, to be honest. I think he's back for this game. Well, I'm not 100% sure on this, obviously, but from my understanding, he was taken out of that team for, you know, it's a minor injury. It's not a serious injury as far as I know. Now, because that small injury was so recent, maybe he does actually miss out on this game week as well. But against Brighton at home, and if Mane plays, you're going to be really wanting him in your team. You're going to be really wanting him in your team. Someone similarly says, is there any news that Salah might be benched? There is nothing to say that if Salah is going to be benched or not. There's no certainty there. If Mane is injured, then Salah is definitely going to play. If Mane is fit, then okay, maybe Salah gets benched. But remember, last time that Salah got, one of the major times that Salah got benched, he came in on 30 minutes to go, and he got what was it, like a 17-point haul. Someone can probably go check that and confirm that exactly how much it was. But he came off the bench with 30 minutes to spare, 2 goals and an assist, and you know he still manages to do it because he's just that good of a player, and he was in good form. Which I kind of feel like he's in good form again now, which is nice to see. You know, back in form. Chris Freddy says, mate, you missed my super chat. Oh, I'm so sorry, dude. Yeah, I really am sorry. I might even have to disable super chats because now we're getting a few more people in here in these streams. It's getting laggier and laggier, and I am missing chats, and it's really frustrating. So maybe we'll disable super chats because I do feel bad about it. But thank you so much for supporting anyway. Chris Freddy, anyway, he says, my midfield, Salah, Son, Grealish, Bruno, Pereira. Transfer out Grealish for Gundogan. I'm not sure I would do that, to be honest. I think if Gundogan is missing a game, if he is going to get benched for a game, it is this game. So there is that small chance. And, you know, Grealish, it's not a horrible fixture. He is in good form. And we have got plenty of double game weeks to come for Grealish as well. I just think that he is the kind of player that we do want to be sticking around in our team for a little while at least. So yeah, I don't think I would do Grealish for Gundogan, to be honest. I think I would stick with your guy Grealish. Save the transfer, man. Why not? Corey says bench 3: DCL, Bamford, Trossard, Tau, Sofal, and Digne. I would bench. I would bench probably Trossard, Tau, and then it's a toss up between Sofal and Digne. You could play either one of those. I'd probably be I'd maybe even lean towards playing Sofal over Digne, but to be fair, Digne has that attacking threat, doesn't he? I was watching him last game, sort of scouting him a little bit against Newcastle, and he was putting in so many crosses. Digne was. So Luke Digne is probably a player that you do want to play against Leeds. Maybe he gets a few opportunities for some crosses and that. Could be quite nice. Right, let's scroll down and see what the... Oh, Garcia says, are you banking a transfer this game week? No, I don't think so. Why not captain Bruno, given everyone is picking Salah? I don't know. You know, sometimes I think it's okay to go for a differential. Like the other game week when I went from Bamford over Bruno Fernandes as a differential, I actually didn't think Bruno was that good of a choice. I thought it was a good choice, but I didn't think he was like miles ahead of everyone else. So for that reason, I was happy to go for Bamford. And as it so happened, Bruno did blank. So although Bamford blanked as well, I wasn't punished too much for it. In this situation, I feel like Salah is actually quite a significant amount better than Fernandes as an option. So I would be worried if I captain Fernandes. that Salah might bang and really set me back. So for that reason, this game week, I'm not so confident about going for a differential captain. Last game week was a good game week to go for a differential captain. I feel like the one before that was a good game week to go for a differential captain. But this game week, not so sure. Not so sure about that one. Alfred says, updates on Bamford and Rafinha injuries. I don't think there has been any updates because there wasn't any press conferences. Or at least if there were press conferences, they somehow managed to miss my timeline. But I have been working, unfortunately, so I haven't had any chance to properly really do much digging. As far as I'm aware, I do think Bamford is going to play. I really do believe that. There's no natural replacement. There's no one other player that can come in and replace him in that team. So I don't think he's going to get rotated or, you know, his injury was minor anyway. So keep him in. Keep Bamford in. Rafinha, on the other hand, I think his injury was slightly more significant. I think there's more natural replacements on the right side of midfield that could come in and take Rafinha's place. So he's a little bit more risky, which is why I was sort of edging towards transferring him out. So, for that reason, Bamford is a keep for sure. My hat is wonky. Is that? That's better. Yeah, Bamford is definitely someone you could keep in your team. Rafinha, on the other hand, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe you can afford to get rid of him. AD7 says, who to bench among Dallas, Soucek, and Sofal? I would play Dallas, I think. And Soucek and Sofal, that really is up to you. Do you think West Ham's going to keep a clean sheet? Do you think Soucek's going to get goals? To be fair, Aston Villa could concede a goal. Is it going to be from Soucek? Maybe. I don't know. Are West Ham going to keep a clean sheet? Possibly. They've been good for clean sheets recently. I don't know. Yeah, I play Dallas, but Soucek and Sofal, I would probably... I don't know who I would bench there, to be honest. Ray Perry, says, Son with no Kane versus Chelsea is risky. It is risky. I mean, like, don't expect Son to do much this game week. He's probably not going to get any points. He's probably going to blank. That's kind of the case. He's probably going to blank. However, you don't really want to transfer him out because you want him for next game week against West Brom. You really want Son versus West Brom next game week. And if you sell Son now, you're going to want to bring him back in next game week. That's 2 transfers gone. You know, just if you really don't want to play Son, play someone on your bench. Transfer someone in for your bench that you can play for this game week. Kind of do something like that instead. But you don't really want to be selling Son, I don't think. Black and White says, Rashford out for Salah, but it's a -4. Yeah, I think that's still worth it. Yeah, even for the -4, I would do that. I genuinely would do that. Don't worry too much about the -4. I think it's a solid transfer. It's a significant upgrade, you know. And you can captain Salah straight away as well. So, that's nice. Ethan says, I have Cancelo, Stones, Justin, Grealish, Fernandes, Gundogan. That's too many players to decide who to bench. Go with your gut. You've been doing well so far, Ethan. I know you've had a good season so far, so go with your gut, man. Corey says, who do I captain? Barnes, Fernandes, or Gundogan? Fernandes is the safest bet. Barnes is probably the second safest bet, and then maybe Gundogan is the riskier one out of those 3. Fernandes could be a good captain, though, you know. Like I said, he really could. Badger says, hey, Dan, pick one to start from Watkins, Soucek, Dallas, and Sofal. Should I start Martinez or Sofal? You can play both, you know. You can play Martinez and Sofal and hope for a 0-0. I'm receiving a phone call. Hang on. I need to take this phone call, really. Damn. No, I'll call them back. I'll call them back after the stream. Oh, well, you can probably hear the phone call going on in the background. Sorry about that. Wildcard into a double game week or out of a double game week? Well, I'm personally going to be wildcarding out of a double game week. But if you find yourself in a situation where you want to wildcard into a double game week, I don't see the problem with that, to be honest. But if you're not bench boosting, I would probably wildcard into a double game week. You know, the game week before the double game week. Play your triple captain or whatever in the double game week. And then move on. Or you can, if you don't have a triple captain and you don't have bench boost either, then you could just go straight away, all in. Game week 26, let's play my wild card and just pick my favourite players. Use it kind of like half a free hit in a way. Like a long-term free hit kind of thing. But yeah, me personally, because I'm going to be bench boosting, I'm going to be setting, over the next few game weeks, I'm going to be setting up my bench so it looks quite nice. I may as well scroll up a little bit here so you can see my bench as well. There we are. So I'm going to be setting up my bench over the next couple of game weeks, making it nice and strong, ready for the double game week. And then I'm going to wildcard out of that to really weaken my bench again, essentially. Because I'm going to put a lot of money on my bench. Believe me, there's going to be a lot of money on my bench. It's going to be fun. It is going to be fun. Looking forward to that double game week, to be honest, guys. It's going to be good. Right. Garant says, Dan, should I captain Sterling? No fence sitting. All right. If there's no fence sitting, then yes. If you don't want fence sitting, then yes, I do think Sterling is a good captain. I think he's almost certainly going to play, isn't he? He didn't play a single minute of last game week. He's going to come in. Why not? Why not? Give it a go. What else have we got here? Let's scroll to some more recent chats. 89 Tech says, when is the expected next double game week? So there's probably going to be a double game week in, is it game week 24? I believe it's game week 24. Man City are going to be playing against, we think they're going to be playing against Everton. There has been some hints online, some clues coming from the official Man City camp that if there is to be a double game week for Man City in game week 24, we're looking at Man City against Everton. So Man City will have a double game week and Everton will have a double game week in game week 24. So maybe worth considering tripling up on those Man City players. Maybe make sure you've got maybe one Everton player in. I've got Calvert-Lewin, which is quite nice. So Calvert-Lewin is going to be quite nice there. So yeah, that could be really interesting. That's probably going to, we'll find out about that relatively soon for sure. But game week 24, it's looking good. It's looking good for a double game week there. It's not an ideal double game week because Man City are going to be playing, they're going to be playing Everton and Spurs, which isn't two amazing fixtures, but it's still worth going in on them, isn't it? Particularly as Man City are going to have another double game week, 2 game weeks after that in game week 26 anyway. Almost certainly. Ashika says Alonso versus Holding. I do think Alonso is good, but you want to see him play in a couple game weeks in a row. Holding is less risky, isn't he? Zaha captain, play Justin or Antonio. You could go Zaha captain, I'm not sure. I'd play Antonio over Justin though. Just back the attackers kind of thing. Darren Wakefield says, if you're prepping for a bench boost, then Holding would be the transfer to make this week, surely. Yeah, but I mean, and that is something I'm definitely going to do at some point. And honestly, you are convincing me that maybe that is the move to make. And if Rafinha turns out to be fit, and I've backed up my defence with Holding, then I'm laughing, really. I'm in a very good situation. I'll be pretty happy with that. So yeah, maybe that is the move. But, there's still 4... I've still got 4... No, right this second, I have 5 free transfers before the double game week. So I still do have time. And the only players I need to upgrade still are Ferguson, Forster, and Adams. Those are the 3 players I need to upgrade. Like, definitely need to upgrade. I've got 5 game weeks to do it. 5 free transfers to do that in. So, is there any point rushing into it now? I don't know. It would be the sensible move to back up. With Stones now rotation risk, Chilwell now rotation risk. It probably would be sensible to put in Holding now. Maybe that's the play. Who has a double game week in game week 26? I don't know for sure. Nobody knows for sure. There's some teams that are really likely to have a double game week. Like Man City are probably going to have a double game week. Aston Villa are probably going to have a double game week. Southampton I think are fairly likely from memory. Liverpool pretty likely. Manchester United are pretty likely. Spurs are pretty likely. So quite a few teams are pretty likely to have a double. Most of the teams that are not so likely to have a double game week are some of the smaller teams, sort of your West Broms, your Sheffield Uniteds. Actually, Sheffield United I think are quite likely as well. But Wolves I think are unlikely to get a double game week. We'll do a video. We'll talk about this in more detail in future, that's for sure. Zaha full send, not holding. Go Zaha. That's the exciting move, right, guys? That's the exciting move. If we're aiming to entertain on this YouTube channel, rather than just be sensible and do well. You know, there's other channels you can watch if you want to watch a tactician. I just like having fun with FPL. And I'm not bad at it, but, you know, create some entertaining content. And Zaha definitely provides that, for sure. Cheering on Zaha. Newcastle's defensive stats, I was checking them out earlier today, though. They are better than they were in the previous game week. So there are signs of improvement from Newcastle's defence, which maybe makes me think, could I just wait? Should I just wait and bring in Zaha next game week, maybe? There's no real rush. And it would allow me to back up Chilwell and, you know, I just do Ferguson to holding, put Chilwell on the bench. Would I even want to do that? If Chilwell starts, it's not a bad fixture. Yeah. I don't know, you guys. I'm leaning towards... The more I think about it, the more I think let's be sensible and just bring in holding. I'm an Arsenal fan anyway. Maybe it'd be nice to get an Arsenal man in. I think it probably would. Game and Naz says, have you got fired from your day job yet? Unfortunately not. Unfortunately, I still have to work there. Battery says, hey Dan, I messed up the question. Pick one out of so many players. Play Martinez in goal and start Watkins. There you go. Play Antonio or Watkins. That's a tough one. That really is a tough one. I would probably lean towards Antonio over Watkins this game week, if I'm honest. Asfar says, I think Cancelo didn't play versus Burnley. He's about to play Burnley now. I think he's going to play. I don't see why he wouldn't play. He's still the main man. I think he was missed last game as well. You know, that creativity. Darren Wakefield says you would technically need to get rid of Chilwell too if he's not playing. Yeah, you are right there. I would, so maybe that's the fourth transfer. So might be a -4 in there somewhere. So yeah, if you look at it that way, then maybe I've only got one spare transfer to use. Luckily, there's not really too many areas that I'm desperate to make a transfer in. Like I do want to get Zaha in for Rafinha, really. But it's not essential. It's not an essential transfer, is it, really? Yeah, okay, right. You convinced me to be boring, guys. I thought it was going to be fun and exciting to bring in Zaha. I'm not, am I? I know it already. I'm bringing in Rob Holding. One of the most boring transfers in FPL. Oh, maybe we should have a poll. Zaha versus Holding. You guys will be voting for Zaha, I know, because it's more exciting. Andrew Haven says, FPL mate for 100k. Yes, let's go. 100,000 subscribers, we've got to do it eventually. Daniel Shearer says, best defender bench option, target, holding. Like I keep talking about holding for a reason. I really like the look of him. I really do. Him and Rudiger. Rudiger maybe, do you bring him in this game week or next game week? I don't know. But Holding and Rudiger are the two big bench defenders that I like the most right now. Both 4.5 million. That's such a good value. So good value there. They're playing regularly for big teams, I guess. Two good defences there as well. Looks nice. Darren Wakefield says back the attacker. Yeah, no, absolutely back the attacker. The thing is, I wouldn't necessarily be backing the attacker because I've got Rafinha. He would be going, so I would just be swapping one attacker for another attacker, wouldn't I? Everyone might say, CWX says, is it too risky to play Chilwell this week? I mean, don't expect him to be a guaranteed starter. I don't think he's a guaranteed starter by any stretch of the imagination. It's risky. It is risky. Bamford for either Zaha or Harvey Barnes. No, you can't. You can stick with Bamford, man. He does the business. Jaya Sealand says, hi Dan, Lacazette and Orba cleared to start for Arsenal. I don't think Aubameyang's cleared, no. Lacazette could be fine though. Calvin Fernandez says, Sterling or Cancelo the better captain? Cancelo could be a really interesting captain choice. It's kind of a... I mean, if I was to go for a differential this game week, I probably would be looking at Cancelo. But then technically, Sterling is also a differential captain. I think I'll go for Cancelo there. That could be interesting. Dan, just play Adams and roll 2 transfers with more info next week. Well, no, I'm no. If I'm rolling the transfer, there's no point. I'll just bring in Holding. That's just the move I would make. So, but yeah, I would have more info. But no, Holding, I've got enough info to say that's a good transfer I want to make. That is a good. So I'm not going to roll a transfer. I've got enough info there. For sure. I was thinking Rudiger, if he keeps starting, yeah, it's a good option. Rudiger is a good option. He's just such a good value. And I'm liking the look of this new Chelsea defensively. Jaya says you consider bringing a Wilson for Adams or Bartley for Ferguson. I don't think so. I don't really want West Brom defenders. They are not good in defence. And, like, Adams will go, but he's going to be going for Watkins at some point. I don't think this is the right game week to make that move because I don't have... I have a little bit of faith in the West Ham defence there. Yeah. The issue is, right, if Stones starts and Cancelo start, so Foul starts as well, then that's my three defenders. I don't need to worry about it. If that's the situation, then yeah, Zaha's still the one I want to go for. We'll do a vote. We'll do a vote. Let's see. What's Mr. Venom said? Why Zaha over Barnes? Holding price rise tonight. By the way, yeah, I'm not gonna let that change my mind. I'm not gonna let that 0.1 million change my plans. But why Zaha over Barnes? It's basically just fixtures. Fixtures look fantastic. Zaha's attacking stats look pretty good as well. I think they look pretty good. They're not far off Barnes, and Zaha has the superior fixtures over Barnes. Maybe when Vardy's back, there's less emphasis on Barnes doing well as well. I don't know. I never fully trust Leicester. I don't know why. I feel like they're obviously a good side, but they seem to do better than they actually should be doing, if that makes sense. I never fully trust him. Now, I've talked about Barnes being a good option before, and I do absolutely believe he is. A couple of game weeks ago, I put him in the buy, sell, keep, avoid videos, or was it last game week? Not sure. He's banged since then. People were saying Maddison versus Barnes. I've been team Barnes, and I think that is the right team. I think we're probably all in agreement now that it's Barnes. So I do rate Barnes. But Zaha, his stats look good. He's an exciting, explosive player. He is a very much can be a set and forget option. You bring him into your team and you just leave him in your team for 7 game weeks. 7 solid game weeks that he has ahead of him. And that's one less headache. He plays every game. He's their best player at Crystal Palace. If he is fit, if he is healthy, he plays football. So there is so many positives. There's so many things I like about Zaha right now, more than ever, that I just feel, for me personally, he's the one to go for. And I want to bring in a player that I don't have to worry about transferring out at a later date or worrying about making transfers. I just want to set and forget and concentrate on the rest of my team because I spend too much time tinkering, bringing players in and out for different game weeks and that. I just want a player I can just stick in and just leave for 7 game weeks and not worry about it. Plus, Crystal Palace have more of a chance of a double game week than some of the other teams as well, which is nice, of course. Chris Freddy says, who to bench, Watkins, Bamford or DCL? I would bench Watkins out of those 3. I think Leeds versus Everton is going to be a fairly open game. I think West Ham versus Aston Villa is actually going to be a fairly tight and cagey game with not too many goals. These are only predictions, of course, guys. I could get this way off. I could be very, very wrong. But, I backed Leeds last game week, thought that would be an open game against Leicester, and it worked out. Leeds are pretty good for producing open games, to be fair. So Bamford and DCL is who I would be playing. DCL, obviously, really good chances. Leeds concede a lot of chances through crosses, which is going to be good for DCL. So Bamford and DCL are better options this game week than Watkins is. I do believe that. And that's why I'm not really interested in bringing in Watkins for this game week, because I wouldn't play him anyway. Alex Marmon, thank you so much for the super chat. My team is Johnson, Diaz, Cancelo, Stones, Robertson, Maguire, Son, Grealish, Fernandes, Wilson, Bamford. So it's all out defence really, which is quite interesting. You don't see too many people line up with that many defenders, you know. And then on the bench we've got Fabianski, Antonio, Lookman, Sochek. What changes would you make to the side? I would want Salah in there really, but I think you're going to be okay without Salah maybe, because if you're not bringing him in this game week, you don't want him for next game week, so it's probably fine. So okay, where would I improve that team? I would be looking at upgraded Lookman, and honestly, other than that, you're probably fine. Be aware that Stones is not going to play somewhere. Your team looks pretty good. Maybe I play Fabianski and Johnston. They're pretty good rotating goalkeepers, to be fair. Yeah, you're probably fine, man. You're probably fine, as you are. Looks a pretty good team. But, yeah, Lookman is a player I probably would not want in my team, if I'm honest. Let's scroll. Chris Freddy says, okay, thanks. One sub, Watkins, or Sofal. Toss up. Back the attacker, go for Watkins. Luke V says, it doesn't matter, Dan. Whoever you bring in will get injured anyway. There you go. There you go. Michael North here says, got Sochek benched at the moment. Should I bring him on for Watkins, Antonio, or Bamford? If you're going to bring him on for anyone, it's probably Watkins. But you've got the West Ham attack covered with Antonio anyway. So I would probably just keep with Watkins. And just leave Sochek bench. Have him your first benched option, I guess, is probably the move there. Michael says, great channel, by the way, as well. Thank you very much, Michael. I really do appreciate that. I do appreciate that indeed. All right, let's scroll down. Ronan O says, do you think upgrading Adams to DCL a good move this week, or upgrade Johnston or Meslier or Daz? I wouldn't waste the transfer on a goalkeeper, to be honest. I think Adams to DCL is a good move, yes. I think it's a very good move, in fact. So, I mean, if you've got the funds to do that, then perhaps that's what you want to do. Ronan, yeah, go for that, man. Go for that. Kane to Lacazette, Wilson or Watkins? That's an interesting one. Lacazette is an interesting shout. Wilson is like maybe a bit knee-jerk, but he is a good player. Like, I really do like Wilson. I really rate him. Like, Newcastle do not deserve Wilson. They really do not. He's so good. Sorry, excuse me. That's a tough one. You got DCL, you got Bamford. Those are all also options. Not Watkins this game week, I don't think, but in the future maybe. Yeah, I don't know. You probably do want to remove Kane though. Will you be making a transfer? Yes, I'm gonna make. Yeah, let's just. I'm gonna stick with my original plan, guys. I'm gonna go for Zaha. It's more exciting. I imagine if I did ask you guys who to bring in, Holding or Zaha, you guys would just vote for Zaha anyway. It's what the people want. So it's what the people get. It's exciting. It's fun. It's risky. And I love it. Let's make some fun transfers. And I do want Zaha long term anyway. This is not a sensible move, by the way. Holding is the sensible move, but screw it, guys. Let's have some fun. Just look, just come on, guys. Look at these fixtures. Hang on, let's just change the view here. Look at those fixtures. Newcastle, Leeds, Burnley, Brighton, Fulham, Spurs, and then West Brom. What a run. What a rush. No, I just think that looks so good. I don't really want to miss out. I don't want to miss out on that. And, you know, I could bring in Holding, but, you know, there's a good chance Wolves score a goal anyway, and it makes the whole thing pointless. You know? So, yeah, we're going to do this. Not that I don't like Rafinha, by the way. I do like Rafinha. But I think he is slightly risky of whether he's going to play or not. But I want Zaha, so we're going to bring him in. We're bringing him in. Okay. Looking good, guys. Looking good. So, the thing is, I can maybe now do this if I really am worried about Chilwell. But I think I'd probably just... If he... Yeah, how many... Aston Villa scoring a lot of goals recently? They're okay, but they're not great. 1 goal there, 2 goals there. Where was that? Oh, that's when they scored 0 goals. Yeah, it's hard to judge them on that, though, really. Sofal or Chilwell? Tough. Probably stick with my original plan. Play Chilwell. And if he doesn't play, then that's easy. Sofal comes on. Captain staying the same. Salah, captain. Bruno, vice-captain. Sensible. Fairly sensible. You know, if I'm taking a risky transfer, I may as well have the rest of my team a little bit more sensible. Why not? So, yes, that's how we're going to do. Jaya Sealand says Zaha is a good option as your buy, sell, keep, avoid video. As long as he doesn't get injured in the next 7 games, you may consider Grealish as well for long term. I think because I'm planning on wildcarding anyway around game week 27, 28, I think Zaha is as long term as it gets because I want it for 7 game weeks. I'm going to wildcard in about 7 game weeks anyway. This is why I just feel like for my particular team, Zaha is the right one to go for. I just want a player I can just stick in there and not worry about until, you know, we've got this wild card coming in. Then we can think about shifting him on. Right, let's go to some more questions. How many minutes have we got? We've got 9 minutes. I'm not going to do quick fire questions yet because I will be very much out of breath by the end of it, that's for sure. But Adil says, time to sell Chilwell? Yeah, potentially. Sid says, Zaha is a bad player. Get out of here. Get out of here. Zaha is an absolute legend of the game, right? And I will not have anyone tell me differently. He's the neck tattooed legend. Mate, he's proven. Zaha is proven. His underlying stats look very good. He is, like, you know, he's the main man at Crystal Palace. Like, I was looking at the Crystal Palace attacking stats, you know, who is the attacker to go for? Because I thought, okay, yeah, Zaha is good. Maybe Eze is a worthwhile option. I was looking at the stats. No chance. Zaha is clear. He's clear. You look at these fixtures, and Zaha likes an easy fixture as well. Like, look at this. Look at this. So, Fulham, 13 points there. West Brom, 18 points there. 2 of the teams that are in this run of 7 games, by the way. He got, you know, goal contribution against Leeds there. You know, 9 points there against Brighton, another team that's in this run. Who else have we got? Looking for some other teams that are in his run. I think Burnley's the other team that I'm missing. But... oh, he didn't even play against Burnley, so we can't really use that. But basically what I'm saying is he's a small game player, and he does get returns. I know, yeah, he got returns against Manchester United early on in the season, but he has consistently got returns against these weaker sides, and he's about to play all of those weaker sides all over again. And he will blank, guys. That's not, you know, you're gonna maybe he blanks against Newcastle, and you'll say, oh, you shouldn't have transferred in Zaha. But then he'll score, you know, 15 points against Leeds, and it'll be like, well, it's fine. He's just average, you know, 8 points per game. So that's fine by me. No, I have faith. I have faith in Zaha. I really do. Whether you do or not. Captain Cancelo, you won't regret it, starts with 6 points. Yeah, you're right. He does start with 6 points, doesn't he? Moldy, you say form over fixtures. Rafinha for me over Zaha, but Zaha's not been in bad form. Like, he really hasn't. Like, Rafinha, okay, he has done well, but he's also potentially injured. There's so many natural replacements at right wing at Leeds that to make benching him or resting him for this game quite easy to do for Bielsa. I do get where you're coming from. I have liked the look of Rafinha. Zaha's stats, underlying stats, are actually better than Rafinha's. Rafinha has looked good, but I'm not sure he's looked good in a way that translates automatically to FPL points. We'll see, I guess. Form will tell. Well, time will tell. And you know, if Rafinha didn't have that knock, that would be the decision maker for me, and I would keep Rafinha in my team. Like, I completely get where you're coming from. Duncan Hodge says, who to bench, Son, Watkins, Antonio, or Bamford? I would bench probably Watkins out of those, but you could consider benching Son, but, you know, you don't really want to be benching a player like that. Jonathan Chris says, what are you drinking, mate? Same as I always drink. The blackcurrant squash. Blackcurrant cordial. It's got to be done. Right, we've got like 5 minutes left. Let's do some quickfire questions. Throw your questions in the chat. I will answer them. You know, short questions only, please. I will do my best to answer them as quickly as possible and hopefully help because we're really running out of time. So we've got 2-1. Oh, I've got another phone call. 217 Legacy says, because you're the GOAT and I'll always support you. Thank you very much for the super chat, man. I do appreciate that. Right, let's find. Madison Captain, no. Captain Zaha, I don't think so. Cavani to Antonio from -4 hit. No, I would not be doing that at all. I think Cavani could, you know, get a couple of points this game week, you know. Should I bench Bamford or Antonio? I would probably prefer to bench... there's really not much in it. There's really not much in it, to be fair. I don't know who I'd bench out of those two. Maybe bench Antonio, but ideally neither. Mahrez or Gundogan? I still prefer Gundogan just for the value that he offers. My captain, let's just so you can see what's going on in my team. That is how I'm lining up. Let's make sure that's on screen for you guys. January transfer video. Yeah, we can do that. If we've got time, we can do that for sure. Dyer, Aspie or Rudiger? I would go for Rudiger there. Grealish or Zaha? I prefer Zaha, but there's not much in it. Show the team. There you go. Double City defenders. Yes, still think double City defenders is the thing to do. Zaha positive COVID test. Well, I know that's not true because Zaha has already had COVID. Thoughts on McGoldrick? Yeah, he's no, not really. Gundogan, you know, he is a slight rotation risk. You know, there's a slight risk there, but I do think he is going to play. Son or Barnes, probably go for Barnes, to be fair, out of those two. Leno or Martinez, I would probably go for Leno. Should I buy some GameStop shares? Not anymore, I don't think. I think that ship has sailed. What about Alonso? He's an option. It's risky though. Shepsy, oh, thank you for becoming a member, Callum. That's really, really appreciated, man. I appreciate that, dude. Starch, Creswell or Justin? I would go for Justin. Go for Justin. Mendy or Martinez? Go for Martinez this game week. Wilson or DCL from 217 Legacy? Thank you for the super chat. I would go for Wilson. No, DCL. No, go for DCL. Change my mind. Will Martial play? He'll probably play, but if he does play, he'll be on the wing, to be honest. He's not been in great form. Watkins also foul. Back the attacker, go for Watkins. Zaha or Gundogan? Back at Zaha, I think. It's tough. It's tough because Gundogan has that rotation risk. Martinez or Areola? Martinez. Dallas versus Creswell. Creswell? Probably, probably Creswell. Rafinha or Watkins? Rafinha, I think. If he doesn't play, you've got Creswell there. They've got the other option there anywhere on the bench. Bench Rafinha for Justin? Yeah, maybe. But maybe should have backed the attacker. Holding or Rudiger? Holding for this game week. Maybe in the future, Rudiger is actually the better option. Last minute transfer, so check to Zaha. Probably not, to be fair. Just keep it as it is. Don't worry about it too much. Zaha captain, I don't think so. To the moon GME, yeah, not for me. I think I lost a bit of money on that one. Schmeichel or Martinez? Go for Martinez, a bit cheaper. Martinez, oh, actually, that might not even be true anymore. That might not even be true. But he has been a reliable goalkeeper. Target or Martial? Play Martial, back the attacker. Martinez or Johnston? You know, Martinez is just a better goalkeeper. You know, just go for him, I guess. Pickford red flag. Oh, that's interesting. I did not spot that. Okay, maybe that's a worry for Everton defenders. Son or Watkins? Go for either. Opinions on Cavani? I quite like him. And we're running out of time here. Double City defenders? Yes. Captain Ozil, get out of here. Gundogan or Son on the bench? Bench Son out of those two, I think. Do your transfer now. Yeah, everyone, guys, make sure you have done your transfer. If you haven't done already, you're really running out of time. You're really pushing it to the wire. Make sure your team is set right this second, guys. You can continue to listen to me go on and on and on. Rashford or Barnes? Definitely prefer Barnes out of those two. Antonio or Watkins? I think Antonio has the better shout this game week. Cancelo captain is risky, but you can go for it. Sell Kane or for Antonio and Grealish? Yeah, that could be good. Mane or Grealish? Go for Mane. Cancelo captain, yeah, if you fancy it. Bench Gundogan, Antonio or DCL, don't really know. Oh, we've got a last minute super chat here. If I have Bamford, Antonio and DCL, would you get Zaha from Soucek for a -4 and bench one of the strikers? No, I would not. Keep things as they are. Thank you very much for the super chat. That's really, really appreciated. Triple captain McBurney, get out of here. Start Justin or Shaw. Start Shaw. No, start Justin. It's just a safer option. Sell Kane for Antonio and Greece. Yeah, I already answered that one. Play Barkley or Watkins. Play Barkley, probably, to be fair. Although maybe you just back the attacker. But I think we're out of time, guys. Bamford or Rashford? I prefer Bamford. Bench Foden or Son? Bench Son. I think we're out of time. It's 29 minutes past on my screen, but my screen is often 30 seconds behind. Yeah, there you go. It's turned over. It's 4:30 GMT. The transfer window has ended. The transfer window has ended in FPL. Hopefully, guys, you managed to sort your teams out. Hopefully, you guys managed to sort your teams out. I know normally I would stay on. I would stay on call or on chat for a little bit longer, but I do have to get back to work. My lunch break is over. I gotta get back to work now. So, what I will basically say is a really quick thank you so much to everyone for joining me on the stream today. Please do like the stream before you leave. If you're new around here, please do consider subscribing. Sorry I couldn't chat with you a bit longer. I would love to. I would love to, but we can't do that today. Perhaps we'll do something over the next day or two. We'll maybe do another stream or a reaction stream or something like that, or a question and Q&A stream. We'll do something. But anyway, thank you guys. Good luck this game week. I wish you all the green arrows in the world. Hopefully you're all good to go. Follow me on Twitter. Let's chat over on Twitter this evening about the games at FPL, mate. And other than that, I'll see you later, mates. Good luck, guys, in Gameweek 22. See you later, mates. Bye-bye.